Need to sign in. Did it. Let's watch the history of the Batatian Empire. Plotagon history. Today we're going to talk about the Batatian Empire. It all began in 1691. The leader of Batasi land was Queen Xiamusi II. She had two daughters. Princess Giafiana, who will later become Queen Giafiana LLL and Maifiasi. I'm not allowed to call Maifiasi a princess, because she committed a sin for trying to marry a prince that was one of the boys. She got executed in 1697 for that sin. Burn in hell, you stupid bitch. But let's talk about Queen Xiamusi LL of Batasiland. She wanted to have an empire instead of a country, because she was jealous on Emperor Andrutate, the emperor of the Dabois Empire. She made a speech at the palace of Batasiland on January 3, 1698. She said, "I always have plans for Batasiland to be an empire for that because to conquer the fictional universe." Her plans were if they could have chosen to have an empire or if it should stay as a country. As of 96% of the population was against an empire, because they knew that if they would become an empire that there would have been many wars. But Queen Xiamusi LL of Batasiland, as she didn't really care about that or the other countries including the Dabois Empire. There was an island that belonged to no one and it was next to Batasiland in the Dabois Empire. On January 17, 1698, Queen Xiamusi LL of Batasiland went to the island and owned it. One day later, on January 18, 1698, she said this is the new colony for the new independence country of the Batatian Empire. She did kept it as a secret for years. On April 22, 1702, Queen Xiamusi II of Batasiland fell ill. On her deathbed she told her daughter Princess Giafiana and said, "Long live Queen Giafiana III of the new independent monarchy, the Batatian Empire." On April 23, 1702, Queen Xiamusi II of Batasiland passed away. On April 24, 1702, Princess Giafiana saw that Prime Minister of Batasiland Giafinan Batasan came to Princess Giafiana bedroom and said, "Long live Queen Giafiana III of Batasiland and the first of the Batatian Empire." On January 14, 1703, Queen Giafiana III of Batasiland was crowned in Batasiana Cathedral. And on June 11, 1703 was crowned Empress of the Batatian Empire in the new Batatian Empire Cathedral, later renamed Batatian Cathedral, in February 14, 1802. On November 24, 1704, Queen Giafiana III of Batasiland and first of the Batatian Empire changed the economy of the Batatian Empire public. What meant that Queen Giafiana III of Batasiland and first of the Batatian Empire unknown? Batasiland no longer exists anymore, and even on November 27, 1704, when the monarchy of Batasiland was abolished and even Batasiland was now a republic. Even the Batatian Empire gained independence in 1698. Before Queen Giafiana III of Batasiland, now Empress Giafiana I of the Batatian Empire, ascended the throne. Even the Batatian Empire was still exist. Emperor Andrutate of the Dabois Empire was not happy and the Dabois declared war on the Batatian Empire on December 31, 1704, and days later on January 12, 1705 the Batasi War started. The Batasi War lasted for 13 years. The Batatian Empire won. The Batatian Empire taken 1 million kilometers of the Dabois Empire. Even the Batatian Empire was now had 11 million kilometers and even big now. Sadly, Empress Giafiana I of the Batatian Empire died on July 1, 1733. Two decades later, in 1902, Empress Cupcakina of the Batatian Empire started leading the monarchy. The map of the Batatian Empire in the 20th century was huge, and there was a tiny half of the Dabois Empire, which was now Daboisland. The Dabois Empire has fallen in 1889. The citizens of Daboisland were angry and revolutionized, and started a war in 1904. That was the Third Batasi War in 1904. The Second Batasi War was in 1804, and ended in 1878. And even the Fourth Badassi War started in 1991 and ended in 2022. On May 4, 1929, Empress Kupkakana of the Badakhshan Empire died. The Badakhshan Empire was abolished in 1930 and fallen in 1946. I want to tell you the story from a very special Badakhshan leader. Sad warning, this story might make you sob. This is Milyasi. She was born on October 12, 1844. Both of her parents died when she was only 10 months old. She was later taken to an orphanage after her parents died. The orphanage did take care of her. She was a very joyful and always positive kid. The other kids in the orphanage often bullied her because the kids did not like her behavior, because it made them insane and stressed out. They also made fun of her and harassed her and abused her because as she was like kind of a slaved person sometimes. She did finally stop like this and all of that stuff the kids did when she was 6 years old and then came fine 6 years later. She never smiled or laughed in paintings and photos again in even her life. But the bullying did not stop because the bullying came to her friends. Her friends also did the same thing like her. When she turned 7 years old, she finally got adopted from and by Empress Trishasana. She always wanted to have a child and tried to get pregnant and give birth for 5 years, but she never got pregnant or give birth. That's probably why she adopted Milyasi. Milyasi thought that the bullying of her friends had to end to this nonsense, and she and her friends did finally smiled and laughed again and also paintings and photos. But she was wrong and even lied. Citizens, guardians and other princesses and princes were laughing and making fun of her because she did not behave or act like a princess or a mistress. The only person who was kind and take of her was Empress Trishasana. Unfortunately, Empress Trishasana died 7 years later of cancer. Milyasi had to become the new empress when she was 14 years old despite being illegitimate. She wasn't mentally ready for her coronation for a big deal like this despite being illegitimate. Everyone hated her for being the new empress and being illegitimate. All the citizens booed at her every announcement or anniversary or royal tours on ships to other countries and speeches and announcements for being illegitimate. She became very depressed and sad and heartbroken because being illegitimate. On March 16, 1860, she committed suicide by hanging herself. 1 century later, in 1977, an unknown architect constructed a statue of Milyasi in the very same exact spot where she committed suicide. A lot of people go to this spot on the day she committed suicide, March 16, and they say to the statue, "Justice for Milyasi." # Justice for Milyasi.